My wife, 36F, and I, 37M, have been married for 5 years and have a 4-year-old son. My wife is a pediatrician and I work in marketing. Our son is in daycare during the day and recently moved up to a new preschool room. The first few weeks in the new room were fine, but then he became friends with a couple of older boys in the class and began to have some behavioral issues. The three boys seem to feed off each other's energy and can get really rambunctious and play too rough. Games of tag will regress into pushing, shoving, and hitting. Nap time comes with them tossing pillows at each other and being disruptive. Disagreements turn into hitting and throwing. We've had meetings with his teachers and the director and changed the way we do a few things at home. We've tried different types of goal setting, positive reinforcement, multiple conversations, taking away of privileges, etc. But his behavior continues to be disruptive at best and dangerous at worst. We're exhausted. Next step is getting him in touch with a behavioral therapist. Thankfully, my wife knows a few of them, and they can expedite the scheduling process. It's gotten to a point where we have had to pick him up from daycare in the middle of the day multiple times. The daycare has both of our cell and work contact numbers, but they only seem to ever be able to get a hold of me. I've had to leave work probably 7-8 times in the past 2 months to get him. Every time daycare calls me, they say they tried my wife, but she didn't answer. I will then call and text my wife to see if she can get him, but her responses are always delayed, to the point that daycare has had to call me back before to remind me that our son needs to be picked up. I understand she has patients to attend to, but she also has a family. After the last 2 times I had to pick up our son, my boss told me that I can't keep doing this. Then it happened again. I tried getting a hold of my wife, but she didn't answer or return texts. I told my boss I had to go pick up my son, and he told me if I leave to not bother coming back. I tried my wife again and still nothing. I waited an hour until daycare called me again and told me I need to come get our son. So I left work and got a phone call later that day that I am fired. My wife finally called after I got home with our son. She apologized for not getting back to me sooner and gave excuses about patience. I told her that I don't want to hear it and she doesn't need to make more excuses because I got fired, so now I can just stay home with our son anyway. She wanted to know more, but I told her I don't want to talk about it. After we got our son to bed, she asked if I wanted to talk about it, and I told her that her dedication to her job and her patience cost me my job. I told her that she never once made arrangements to pick our son up, and now we're a one-income family. She told me it isn't her fault, and I'm being a jerk for blaming her.